everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Ramadan daily video. I'm finally sharing my top SPFs or top sunscreens for women of color or just top sunscreens in general. I am someone that never used to wear sunscreen. I will be the first to admit it, even though people are like, you still gotta wear sunscreen, it helps with hyperpigmentation, etc, etc. I just never could get myself to wear sunscreen every day because I could never find one that did not make me look like a purple dinosaur, basically. Over the last year, I have been like literally on a mission. It has been my mission. I keep going like this is really intense, okay. It has been my mission to find SPFs that work for my skin tone, that don't make me feel like a grease ball, that don't ball up, that just look good under makeup, protect you from the sun, and that's it. So I feel like I have narrowed it down to like a good handful of sunscreens that I use interchangeably and I honestly really love, from the drugstore, high-end, and then some from like indie brands. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this video with you guys. If you do enjoy it, then definitely give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We are so close to 180,000 subscribers. I thought my mic wasn't on for a second and I nearly had a heart attack. Yeah, let's get straight on into it. Before I actually begin trying anything on, I want to just explain the importance of sunscreen and kind of debunk the myth that Black people don't have to wear sunscreen. That is totally not true. Ever since incorporating sunscreen into my skincare routine, I have dramatically noticed a difference in my hyperpigmentation, and I can honestly say that not wearing sunscreen will definitely deepen up your hyperpigmentation. So like all the pigmentation, like around my mouth used to be so dark. I had like dark spots all over, and not wearing sunscreen just made them even darker and harder to lighten up. So it is very important, especially if you suffer with like acne scarring or dark spots or hyperpigmentation, discoloration, that sort of thing. A sunscreen will be your best friend. It will protect you from the sun and protect it from getting any deeper. Additionally, of course, sunscreen helps with, preventing skin cancer, skin diseases, things like that. Now it is true that the deeper you are, the harder it is for you to get like burned by the sun, etc. But it's still, the sun is still very damaging to the skin. So please be sure you're protected. All the sunscreens that I'm going to be showing in this video are products that I have been using and trying out, not just something that I'm throwing into this video. I've honestly tested out these products and really like the application underneath makeup, and I will give you guys pros and cons for each one. But one thing I do want to mention, one thing you will notice, is that all the sunscreens that I really love are all chemical sunscreens and not physical. So physical sunscreens are the one that are going to give you that weird purplish tinge. And to explain or to further kind of just show you guys what I mean by that, I have this one over here. This is a pretty popular one. I feel like I got questions on this. This is the Drunk Elephant Umbra Sheer Physical Daily Defense Sunscreen. This is what it looks like. This is broad spectrum SPF 30. Great. But it is a physical sunscreen. So it has zinc oxide, and I will show you guys what that means for my skin, okay? Physical sunscreens are generally a lot thicker as well, and that is one thing you will notice. You see, like, it is kind of drooping, but the other ones are very, like the chemical sunscreens are very liquidy. But yeah, let's see. Let me show you what this does. Yeah, not a chocolate girl's best friend, as you can see. And this is the reason why I never wore sunscreen, because who wants to be walking around looking like this? Like, I don't want to wear makeup every single day, and I don't want to put on a mask of makeup to cover this purple tinge. Like, do you see this? I'm honestly trying to blend this in, and the more that I blend it in, the more blue I get. So for any people who just think we are being dramatic, the proof is in the pudding, okay? The proof is in sunscreen. Proof is on my damn face. It's not cute. I'm gonna be taking off the sunscreens between each application, just because, I thought about just kind of doing this video without actually showing you guys how they applied. But then I was like, well, that kind of just defeats the purpose of showing you guys like which ones are the best. So I am going to be using what I dread to use, which is a makeup wipe. I'm not a fan of them. I hope that explains the difference between chemical exfoliants and physical exfoliants like this one. So the first SPF that I want to share with you guys is the Roche-Posay Ultra Light SPF 60 Anthelios Ultra Fluid Lotion. Literally the longest name in the game, but this is what it looks like. The bottle is slightly different in the US than in Canada. This is the Canadian bottle, and this one, I have them all here, retails for 29 Canadian and 29 US. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by chemical exfoliants are super, super liquidy. Like, as you can see, that is literally dripping down my hand. They're very liquidy. I kind of like that because it makes it really nice to wear underneath makeup. And I have been using this definitely the longest out of all of them. I got this last year, pretty much around this time. And actually a couple of you guys recommended this one to me. So as you can see, when it goes on, it's still pretty, like, there is like a tiny bit of a cast, but it's nothing like the other one. And the more that you blend it in, the more it disappears. So this one is a little more greasy than the rest, but the grease kind of does go away the more you pat it in, the more matte it gets. And this one is for sensitive skin. So if you do have sensitive skin and you're worried about, you know, sunscreens breaking you out, then this one is a great option. So this one, I'm gonna come a little closer. It leaves just a slight kind of like dullness to the skin. Like, it is very glowy. But I don't know if you guys can tell, I certainly can, but it's just slightly more dull. But it's nothing that would bother me, and especially underneath makeup. This one doesn't ball up underneath makeup too much. Sometimes it does, and I don't know why it does and doesn't. It might have something to do with like how primers interact with the ingredients in this. But for the most part, I find it doesn't ball up, and it leaves your skin very smooth. The second SPF is this one by Lancome. This is the Bien Fait SPF 50 Ultra Fluid Texture Facial Sunscreen. It literally has 101 names, but this is what it looks like. So very, very similar actually to the La Roche-Posay one. This one I feel like is definitely more runny than the La Roche-Posay. You can see it is literally dripping down my entire hand. See how it applies. I purchased this because I literally purchased this for this video, and then I've been using it ever since. I heard really, really great reviews on this from women of color specifically, so I thought I might as well try it. And I find this actually dries pretty matte. It's giving the same sort of like cast as the other one, but definitely, of course, not as much as the physical ones. This one retails for 37 Canadian and 40 US. I don't know why it's more in the US amount. Usually it's the opposite, but I mean, for all my US people buying in Canada, if you're ever here and ever want to pick it up, this one I really like because it's so smooth. It's more smooth than the La Roche-Posay one, and I feel like specifically because, you know, people look to Lancome for makeup, so they want an SPF that could go well with their makeup. This is what it looks like on the skin. The more you blend it out, the more that cast kind of disappears. I would say it's pretty much gone now. Also, if you guys are interested in the smells of these, both of these smell pretty much exactly the same. Like, they just smell like sunscreen, just not as like pungent, but it definitely still has that SPF smell. So the Lancome SPF, I would say, is probably my favorite from Sephora. I think it is really, really thin in texture, so it pairs really nicely with different primers or moisturizers. It's not like too heavy. A lot of the times I will actually mix this in with like my primer moisturizer, which is a Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base, and it works perfectly that way. And I just really like the fact that it's very, very smooth on the skin. Like, if you feel your skin, it literally feels like you put on a smoothing primer, and it does eventually set to like a matte finish. Right now it is a little glowy because I'm actually just really, really warm, but it does set to a matte finish and pairs really, really nicely under foundation. Oh, and it doesn't ball up underneath foundation, which is always a plus. Speaking of Bobbi Brown, actually, this one is the newest one to my collection. This is the SPF 50 protective face base, and it comes in this really sleek tube. I didn't even know Bobbi Brown made SPFs, let alone like SPF 50, so I was very excited to see this. This one is a little thicker than the other ones. It still is pretty runny because of course it is like a chemical SPF, but as you can see, it's definitely not running down my entire hand. And because of that, I find it a little easier to apply, oddly enough. So this one applies very similar to like a moisturizer or anything like that. And I like this because it actually doesn't have a scent. Like, it doesn't have the sunscreen scent. It smells exactly like the vitamin enriched face base, maybe just slightly different. But the other thing, and you may already notice this, is that this goes on completely clear. Like, obviously the first time you apply it, there's a little bit of a purple tinge, but it doesn't leave that slightly ashy gray tone that the Lancome and the La Roche-Posay one leaves. But it's also not like super matte. Like, I would say it gives the same type of feel as the vitamin enriched face base, which is like super glowy and smooth. But I actually do really like this one. I feel like you can wear this on its own underneath makeup, like you don't need to wear a primer. Because it is similar to like the face base and it leaves a really pretty glow. So if you have dry skin, I feel like you'll really enjoy this. And I honestly really like this. Like this was a shock coming into my PR package, but I was like, okay, Bobbi Brown, this is perfect. I was just about to film. So yeah, I really like this. I've been using it for the past week and really love it. This one retails for $45 US, which is pretty steep. I think other than one other one, this is the most expensive one, but they do sell this at Sephora, Nordstrom, and Bobbi Brown. Currently, actually everywhere is sold out of it, but I believe they're restocking sometime in June. At least that's what Nordstrom said. So you guys can see there's absolutely no cast. It just looks like I put on a really glowy primer or moisturizer. It comes with 1.7 fluid ounces or 50 milliliters, and so do the other ones, the Lancome and the Roche-Posay. I have one more kind of like high-end sunscreen before I jump into the drugstore options, but this one is also a recent addition. This is the Solima Skin Solutions Sunblock. Now this one is pretty expensive. I was shocked when I saw the price. It retails for $63.99. You could use my coupon code. It's Aysha10, AYSHA10, and you can save 10% off anything on Solima skincare. But I would say it is pretty steep, even just compared to like all the other brands that I'm showing in this video. That being said, I do really love this one. I find this one applies the most like a moisturizer than any of these products. And it has SPF 30, so not as high as the other ones, but SPF 30 and above is generally, it pretty much all works the same. So this one's very lightweight. And as I mentioned, it applies like a moisturizer. And also I find this one smells really nice. It smells kind of like florally. It still does have a little bit of that sunscreen scent, but I do really like this. And it also does not ball up underneath foundation. So I really love this one. I think the full size, so this isn't actually the full size. This is the one that comes in the travel size, and this is 15 ml. I think the full size, let me check how much product it has in it, one sec. Okay, so I just checked the website and the full size does have 60 milliliters. So that is more than, you know, the Lancome, the Bobbi Brown, and everything like that. So I guess the price could be kind of justified since you are getting more. And also the bottle that it comes in is one of those ones that is like you press it down and then the product comes out. So it's very hygienic. But again, if you just kind of want to try it out, she has travel sizes that you can kind of like try out, but they all come in a kit, so you can't purchase it separately. But anyways, back to the sunscreen. I really like this one. I find it absorbs very quickly, as you can see. Obviously, because I have sunlight on me, it's gonna look super glowy, but it actually absorbed really nice, just like, you know, any basic moisturizer that you would use. So because of that, it pairs really nicely under makeup. You can wear it alone, and it's not gonna make you feel like sweaty or like your pores are being clogged. It just feels really nice on the skin, honestly, and I do really love this. I think it's an amazing option if you guys are up for it, and yeah, no white cast whatsoever. Right, so now moving on to the affordable options. So these are actually all from one brand, and that is Neutrogena. I feel like Neutrogena is like the queen of SPF products from the drugstore. Ever since I was like really young, I always used to go for Neutrogena sunscreens when I did decide to wear sunscreen. And the one that I remember always using is the Ultra Sheer Dry Touch Sunscreen with SPF 110. I don't know why you would ever need SPF 110. Like I mentioned, like anything above 30 is pretty much very effective. So this is what it looks like regardless. And this is the one that I always used to use. Now I haven't used this in a really long time. I actually just got this one. So I don't remember what it looks like on the skin. So we're just gonna try it out. It is much thicker. She real thick, as you can see. But we shall see. I do have other Neutrogena options that I really like. I just kind of wanted to retry this because it used to be my favorite. Okay, so that's not horrible. That's not horrible. I wouldn't use it right now, but it ain't horrible. Like, as you can see, no white cast. Well, it has that same sort of tint that the Roche-Posay and the Lancome one left, but not bad. I feel like for a lighter complexion, you wouldn't be able to see anything. But of course, the deeper you get, the more this is gonna show. So I can see why I used to use this, but I can also see why I stopped using it. It's it's just not as good as the other ones. All right, so the one that I wanted to share with you guys, I love this so much. This is from the Hydra Boost line by Neutrogena, and it's their water gel sunscreen with SPF 50. This is what it looks like. They did send this to me because I wanted to try it out. So this one is really nice. It has the same smell as all the other Hydra Boost products, which is why I like it so much. It's definitely not as watery as you can see. I put a lot on there. It's not as watery. Oh, it smells so good. I will show you why I really like it. I probably put way too much on my hands. Let me wipe some off. So when you first put it on, it kind of has like a blue tint, but then the more you apply it, like look, it's literally completely gone. And the thing that I really like about this, now sunscreen naturally kind of dries out your skin because it is literally blocking out, you know, any harmful UV rays and everything like that. So your skin can be left very like dehydrated. But the thing with this is that it has hyaluronic acid, and if you don't know what hyaluronic acid is, basically it holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water and hydration. So it's really gonna just replenish your skin the more you apply this. And as you can see, it's like very, very plumping. I feel like this would be amazing for someone with dry skin. Very lightweight, feels really nice underneath makeup. It's very comparable to the high-end ones, especially like this Bobbi Brown one. It's very comparable to it. And it just feels really nice on the skin. This one also doesn't ball up underneath my makeup, which is why I love it so much. So this is honestly a really, really amazing option from the drugstore if you guys want something a little more inexpensive. This is it. I will say the only con is that it leaves your face slightly more greasy than the other ones. Underneath makeup, I find it's okay because, you know, I like the glowy look anyways, and when I wear a matte foundation, it just keeps it hydrated. But not really too oily. But on its own, like if I were to wear this on its own, it's just slightly more glowy. I don't mind it, but I know some people do, so just keep that in mind. This last sunscreen is also from Neutrogena. It's their their Ultra Sheer Face and Body Stick sunscreen with SPF 50+. And this is what it looks like. It legit looks like deodorant. Oh my god, my hands are so greasy from the sunscreen. Okay, there we go. It literally looks like deodorant, like you roll it up exactly like deodorant. But this is such a cool concept. Like I've never seen sunscreen like this before. It literally, you just glide it on. It's completely clear. Like you just put it on. This feels so like strange because I feel like I'm putting deodorant on my face. But I think this is really convenient because it's really, really quick. Like you literally just slide it on. The only con with this is that because it is completely clear, you can't really see where you applied it, but you can kind of just like move it around the skin when you have it on already. And this one is really, really soft. It reminds me of a lot of like the Milk Makeup Blurring Primer. And it's just such a cool, like I've never seen a stick deodorant before. A stick sunscreen before. Like it literally goes on completely clear, as you can see. Like it doesn't even look like I applied anything. Probably not the best for someone with dry skin because I think it can kind of like tug and pull. It doesn't have a lot of like hydration built into it. But if you have oily skin, I think this would be really great because you just kind of put it on. It, you know, protects you from the sun. It's not gonna ball up underneath makeup, and it also is like a matte finish. So this is such like an innovative design. Like go Neutrogena for just being the queen and king of sunscreen. I think it's amazing. And oh, I totally forgot to give you guys the prices for the Neutrogena ones. Actually, all of them pretty much retail in between $12 and $15. So majority of them are in between $12 to $14. The other one that I wanted to feature is the Glossier Invisible Shield. When I went to LA, Shaht was using that. She always uses that one, and she let me use it while I was there, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I came to Canada, I went to order it, and they're like, sorry, we don't ship, you know, this particular product to Canada. And I was like, are you serious? The one product that I actually wanted, I couldn't get. So I was like, it's fine. I'll just reach out to them and see if they can just send it as PR. And I tried that. It just like never ended up happening, and it just kept getting delayed and delayed. And I just wanted to have this video for you guys. But if you guys are wondering my thoughts on the Invisible Shield, I actually really, really love it. I think it's a great option. It goes on completely clear. The Invisible Shield retails for $34. But you get, I think, a little less than 50 ml. It might even be like 30 ml or something. But I think it is a little steep. in comparison to at least the sunscreens that I tried today. So anyways, that is it for this video. I am literally sweating. It is so hot, and I feel like this sunscreen is just blocking any pores from exiting my face. So it is just making me feel very, very hot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will have all the sunscreens that I featured in this video listed and linked down below if you guys want to check them out and purchase them yourself. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions or concerns or comments about any of the products that I featured today. But yeah, these are all the sunscreens I really love and I've been using, and I would 100% recommend to you guys. Hopefully we can all stay protected together. I will say this one I pretty much just showed you, the Ultra Sheer. I just showed you because I wanted to try it out. I wouldn't really recommend this one. I would recommend the Hydra Boost over this one for sure. But yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in tomorrow's video, which is actually going to be a makeup video, which I think you guys will really enjoy. So come back tomorrow and I will see you then. Bye everyone!